everyone, and welcome back to the HCW YouTube channel, and welcome back to another BCCW review. No, it's not what you think it is. We are doing a tier list.
Got him!
Because that's the trend with the kids. How are you doing, Mr. Bastard?
I am very well, sir.
No,
I'm
you're
not. I can barely speak, and I feel like shit. But I made a promise to your millions of supporters out there that I would do this.
Plus, you said you really were looking forward to shitting all over everyone. So, so for anyone that's not seen a tier list, we're doing a tier list on last year's BCCW. It's all based upon our opinions of them for that year, not outside BCCW, so someone could have a fantastic year outside of it. If they've done shit in this show, they're going in the mud show.
Mud show.
So the general breakdown of this, we've got BCC Hall of Fame, so that's obviously an incredible year they've had. Mainstay, which is that it's a great year, but it's still not like it's not reached the best they could probably have done. Decent Hand means they did a good job. You'd have them back. It's a nice time. Not Unite is it's kind of an opinion of you like them, you think they're good, it just wasn't their best performance. And then Mud Show is I just love the term Mud Show. It's just probably a worse version, and it's not, So, before we continue, like and subscribe, check out Hot Tag Reviews, the descriptions, lovely chest, and also the images on the screen, that's not the master's fault.
It wasn't my fault!
He sent me some lovely promo pictures of everyone, but because tier lists don't run on really good photos, basically, if I moved an image, it'd go like this and it'd take forever, whereas with the Facebook tier, I could do this forever. So, unfortunately, you're going to have to deal with some of your bad photos. Well, some of them are promo. Some are actually good promo photos that have been taken on the show, and then some of them have, unfortunately, Jack Baller found a school photo of you. And your face is cut off.
You singled out Jack Baller.
Yeah, it's because it's the first one I could see, and then also, I think that's pretty much it. Anyway, I've tried to put these in alphabetical order. You've got a tick sheet in case I've missed someone, because we did miss people, even though we were looking at cage match at one point.
Yeah, cage match.
So we will start off with a Lunar Blue. Where are you thinking?
I've based my list for lists over not just their year, but some people have only had a couple of matches or one match.
Yeah.
So if you think we've fucked you over in somewhat of a harsh way, tough. You only had one match. That was your chance to shine. However, Luna, she's in my decent hand. Initially, I did have her as a mainstay, but I went back and I watched a few matches, and she was new to the scene pretty much. She's grown over the year, and she's doing excellent outside of a BCCW. But I think she's a decent hand.
Yeah, from the matches that I saw her was that all BCCW shows. All the matches she was in, she was very good. Obviously, she got injured on the one show. And then the later few shows she hasn't been there. But like all the showings, yeah, I would say she was definitely been decent. I would maybe nearly get her up to mainstay, as you said. But I feel like, as you said, with the slight off at the end, it's probably just getting to decent hand. But this is kind of makeshift as well, because we could start moving stuff around and go, actually, that person needs to go up a bit and that person could go down. That's what a tier list is. We will move on to Bad Intentions. I've put Clarkwood separately, but Bad Intentions I've put together because it was just one show, so they never really had anything in a singles match. Yeah. So where have you decided to whack them?
I'll be honest, initially, I put Bad Intentions in the Mud Show because from what I remember of the match, it wasn't good at all. It looked clumsy. It didn't look a fun match. It didn't look enjoyable to watch in the audience. However, I was backstage during this match and I was working, so I went back and I watched it again just to be sure. And I moved them up to Not Your Night. I still don't think it was a great performance. It wasn't amazing. They were okay on the night, and they're in there with the Clarks. Mm-hmm. So the Clarks are always going to help elevate anybody. And if you can't elevate with the Clarks, should you be in there?
From what I remember, this I didn't mind the match at all. I don't know if it was because the Clarks were in it, and I said like, "Oh, proper like anything Clarks involved, they can kind of beat the out." And I did like the whole it was twin magic on both teams. So I don't know if I was just trapped in that vision of look, both of them are twins. But yeah, I'd happily put them in Not Unite. I definitely wouldn't say Mud Show. I think they were decent. They're more better than Mud Show. And this is just a one-off opinion of seeing them that time because obviously I don't have the ability to review my opinions. But yeah, no, I'm happy to put them in Not Unite at the time being. I believe this wonderful picture I found is Bevan. He looks hardcore in this picture. I'm throwing it out there, really.
Got to zoom in. Hold on.
We'll go with that's Bevan.
Bevan's looking stacked at the minute as well.
Yeah.
He's looking jacked after seeing him at Hinkley. Called day on him.
Yeah. And it was a nice heel roll at Hinkley as well. Obviously, is the thing. From what I remember of Bevan, yeah, it might be, drew me wrong, he only had one match this year. Because he had a match at Son of a Nutcracker, remember? Then one match this year was him versus... who did he fight? Who did he fight? Oh, no.
He was in the tag match.
Oh, it was the tag match, wasn't it? Was it him and Carson?
He was in the tag match with, obviously, him and Wesker against... No, him and Carson, sorry.
Against Wesker and James Grayson. That was it, yeah, because it was after DK exploded. I remember that match being fine. I don't remember it being like a world-beater match. And it's, as I said, it's kind of based upon this year alone. Like, if I look out at Bevan outside of this, I could, obviously there's a lot more, but if you based it upon this year alone, I'd probably say Not Unite. I wouldn't say it's decent handish just because it was the one match and it wasn't, like, amazing.
I'm with you completely on that. He definitely doesn't belong in Mud Show. Yeah. Definitely not. I was toying with decent hand, but watching it back, it wasn't his best night. To be honest, it wasn't. It wasn't awful by any means. And, Bevan can put on a performance. But unfortunately for me, after that, with that one match, it was not your night. Yeah.
It's said from the rest of the Hinkley and stuff like that, and No Mercy. Bevan out. So if you say the whole year together, it'd definitely be up decent and mainstay, but with it just being BCCW, I've just assumed and gone above Bad Intentions. You think he would be above Bad Intentions in this rate? Like, right? Yeah, I would definitely say he's more higher, not Unite than lower of it. We're up to Bullet.
So, again, we are basing this on one performance on the night. This match was okay. To be fair, I liked the way it ended. I liked the way Mason changed up his style somewhat to adjust in the match. Mason took a hangman, which was fucking great to see Mason do that. That was beautiful. But Bullet did not look interested throughout the entire match. It wasn't great. I've seen Bullet wrestle. Bullet has put on some performances. But it was good. But it doesn't deserve more than Not Your Night.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I wasn't a massive fan of that match. I'm going to be honest. I managed to put it Not but it just wasn't my kind of match. It was kind of like, I think James Mason, he's a good, obviously James Mason's a fantastic wrestler, we'll get to him at this point, but I feel like a big guy is not his best kind of opponent. I feel like that's his kind of kryptonite. If you're anyone, it's going to be a bigger guy that's kind of stacked from how he works. Well, if Bevan's moved down below Bevan to Bad Intentions, I don't know if that's the Bullet at the bottom maybe, and there, or Bullet there, or...
No, I'd put Bullet at the bottom underneath Bad Intentions.
To be fair, what we'll do is we'll put everyone on the board and then do that at the end because we'll be doing this for everything. We're up with Carson Bailey. Carson, was that the tag team match? Was the only match as well?
He was also at a private function match as well. He was there for a private function.
It's a secret. Shut up.
You've got two matches to...
Well, he had two matches that night. He had a singles match and he had a tag match. So I got 3 matches to work. Carson. Now, Carson's one of my brothers and I absolutely love him. He's in decent hand for me, but it's more because he's a psychotic fucking lunatic. I think I can't ever not look at that with Carson Bailey. And to be fair, with the tag match with Bevan, I was more focused on Carson than I was Bevan.
It's hard not to, isn't it? Because Carson's an absolute freak.
There's something about Carson Bailey that you can't not watch him, that you don't want to blink. He's definitely not the person that you go for a piss break. You ain't going to the bar. You watch him to see what he's going to do. And like I said, at the private function as well, he was entertaining to fuck.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll get to who his tag partner was a bit later, but he's in the decent hand for me.
Yeah, obviously I've only got the opinion of the tag match. It said he is a focal point of it. I just remember him getting absolutely bonced with a bacon tray. And then obviously just taking what, I think it was either Grayson or Wesker, and just take him outside, disappeared for a while.
Wesker threw him into the wall, and Bailey came back with his head all split open.
Yeah. That alone. Decent hand. Next up, Charlie Sterling, who I think was only in a tag team match with Joseph Connors, wasn't he? Was it Joseph?
Yeah. He's had a singles match, has he? Not this year, I don't think. I think it was previous. But Charlie Sterling's amazing.
He knows how to build himself, as in to get the crowd behind, get against him. That's what I really like about Charlie Sterling.
Yeah, the fucker pulled my hair once. Just no need, but I loved it. It was great. I was like, so what you're saying is... yeah, so for that reason and that reason alone. Now, he's the first person to go into my mainstay.
Oh.
I absolutely loved him. I loved everything about him in that match. In that tag match, he was absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, from what you're saying, Charlie Sterling, he has that kind of ability. You look at him and know he's good. He's the kind of that wrestler. I really like that tag team match. Because it's your tier list, you overpower where I would put it. I'd probably put it at the top of decent hand, but I'm happy to put it mainstay because it's more of a reflection of you Seymour, and you have that ability. CJ Rollins. He did it right, didn't he?
CJ Rollins.
Yeah.
He had a half decent year, didn't he? Yeah, I'd say so.
If there's anyone if you had to just put anyone that you put in Hall of Fame for this year, CJ Rollins. Obviously, he had a bad ending to the year, but he carried pretty much that title for the whole year.
Well, I mean, the year ended badly for him, but the match that he had
was fantastic.
Before that was amazing. Charlie goes straight in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, he had an incredible year. And it wasn't that he was having he was pacing people in Fatal 4-Ways all the time and coming out and looking fantastic.
Absolutely.
He had a fantastic year, Charlie Sterling. I said, cheers, CJ Rollins. He had a fantastic year. And hopefully he carries it on this year.
Absolutely.
Hey, you. Yeah, you. Do you like this video? There is a button. It's a very sexy button. It says subscribe on it. I wish I could click on it, but YouTube won't let me. Damn fuckers.
We've got Coach D something. Coach D... I can't remember his name. I feel bad now. The coach...
Dio, innit?
Is it Coach Dio?
Dio, yeah.
I'll be honest. First, you told me of Coach this guy, this gentleman, Scott Grimm, wrestling on the show prior to the show. And we had an opinion that it wasn't going to be the greatest time. And then they had a really, really good match that the crowd got really behind because they knew their wheelhouse. And their wheelhouse worked really well. On what they played, which it sounds mental, what they played, from what they did, decent hand I'm fine with.
Well, I'll be honest, again, this is another one of the matches I watched back because I put it... I had him teetering, to be honest, between decent hand and not your night. I was like, you can't be on the fence. You've got to be one or the other. So I did eventually put him on Not Your Night because I watched the match back. It was entertaining. It was without a doubt entertaining. It was it reminded me when I've been at the camp shows and watched the match. It was fun. It really was. I don't think he was the best in the ring, but I don't think he needed to be as such because of the type of match he put on. Yeah, because the type of match he put on. But everyone can't be a decent hand.
Yeah. If we're going to, I'm happy to put him in Not Your Hand, but I would put him happily at the top of Not Your Hand. Because it was
Not Your Night.
Yeah, not your night, not your hand, not your life. That was dark. But yeah, no, it was. I think the crowd participation was incredible in that match. And yeah, for someone that we just didn't expect, I just didn't expect much from. It just sounded like someone randomly being on the show. They did well, which we'll get to the other guy eventually. Chantal Jordan's all right.
She's okay. I mean, she has her moments, doesn't she?
She had 2 good matches that I remember, very good matches. I don't know if she's had more matches on the show, but I remember 2.
Not this year.
Yeah.
Well, last year. 2024 now. Yeah, Chantal's okay, and she's not so bad, to be fair. Yeah, she's insane. She's so good. She's so good.
Really good.
Based on just 2 matches, it's difficult to give her, Hall of Fame material.
No, yeah, but that would just be a strong push up there.
Yeah, but she's definitely in the mainstay.
Yeah,
for me, definitely. She's really good. She's incredible, and hopefully we're going to be seeing more of her as well across the next year.
Yeah, she did what she needed but obviously she goes around the country. But for BCCW, you had 2 matches, and she showed how fantastic she is in the 2 matches. She didn't just pull herself. So it's this is the kind of thing you do. If you show you're really good in 2 matches, you'll be brought back. That's it's like, and Chantal. Oh, you have the benefit of seeing her from Kamikaze and stuff, so I always knew she'd be fantastic. Chris Ridgway, obviously had 1 match. It's very much recency biased because it was the most recent match. Chris Ridgway, if we're not going on BCCW, I'd put him as a god tier of anything because Chris Ridgway is a fantastic wrestler. But if I had to go just on that 1 match, I would put him in decent hand, which may sound insane, but I don't think that match kind of highlighted how great he is.
Yeah.
It just seemed like a good match.
Okay.
I don't know if it was because it was quite shorter than I expected, but I did enjoy it. It's just not as the Chris Ridgway, which I feel like could go far. He's on the next show, obviously, so we're going to see more of him.
Yeah, I think my initial bias with this was Chris Ridgway, Hall of Fame material. Put him in. And then I was like, hold on, let's think about it.
Calm down.
let's just calm down a bit. And it was actually this morning. I did that, and I had a rethink, and I got him in mainstay. He's incredibly talented, and obviously he's going to be back next month. Wednesday next year, next month.
I see what you did there. Because he will care.
He's great. He's absolutely great. But I think the quality of Ridgway, obviously, we can see more. And I think we're going to see another side of him as well in February. But that's this year. We're talking last year. So I'm sticking with the mainstay for me.
Okay, as I said, because it's more BCCW, you've got the I would say the casting vote if it's kind of a middle thing. So we'll put him there for the time being. This guy's alright, Driller Maloney.
Yeah, ain't bad.
Yeah. Driller, obviously, if you're going for all-time BCCW, it'd be Hall of Fame, kind of just like top, and we'd just continue with our lives. But this year, I would go top of mainstay just because he hasn't been able to wrestle as much, which isn't his fault because he's good at wrestling and he's gone to New Japan. And I feel like if you're going for his performances in Charlie Sterling, CJ Rollins, I feel like CJ Rollins has pipped the year.
Yeah.
So I would go top of the mainstay, but obviously casting vote is yours.
And as I am a bastard, no, I'm going to agree with you completely.
Yeah.
I love Dan. Dan's incredible. Absolutely fucking incredible. But based on the actual year itself, he's a top tier mainstay.
Yeah, it's more of it said like if he wasn't in New Japan, he was here, he'd probably be the top of Hall of Fame because he's Dan Maloney, it's in Tipton, and it's the only thing that makes sense in BCCW in Tipton. Nothing else makes sense.
Nothing ever should.
Yeah, but yeah, Dan Maloney, good old mainstay. Next up, we've got Edgar Adams. So he's had 2 matches. I remember. By the way, for anyone that we haven't explained, Rumble-wise, you won't get on this list unless you've actually wrestled a match because you were in a Rumble, and I feel like we can't judge you upon being in the Rumble.
It's just too harsh.
People like Hassan JC I could think of that were in that Rumble, they won't count. Edgar Adams was in that Rumble, but he also had a tag match at the most recent show, and he also fought George. 2 great performances. Where do you think he's going to go?
I've got him in decent hand.
Yeah.
I think that's fair for him. He's got, obviously, we both know how talented this guy is, and he definitely will be further up.
He's silly good, Edgar Adams. For someone that's been wrestling probably a year and a half, like obviously training, if we forget training, but actually on chair, he's silly what he does.
He just baffles you how quick the man is.
Yeah.
He's not called the Speed Demon for no reason.
Yeah.
But I think he's right in there, solid, decent hand.
Solid, decent hand. There we go. There he is in his solid, decent hand. Another fantastic young wrestler that makes no sense, George Lydon.
Yeah, he's incredible.
Yeah. I would happily, straight away, like obviously we'll discuss Mainstay. I feel like Mainstay is a good suit for George Lydon from the matches he's had. He's been in a few banging matches. Obviously, the Fatal 4-Way, which I thought was going to be ruined when it was announced as over the top, and then it became even better, which made no sense for a Fatal 4-Way over the top match. It was like, yeah. He had the great match with the next man, which we'll be discussing about. And obviously Edgar as well. I would lean towards Mainstay.
Yeah. You get no arguments from me with that, with George. He's amazing.
Some would say he's a mainstay.
Obviously,
I'm just putting people on this list at the moment. We'll shuffle them around eventually. This is Hari Singh, who I believe only had the match with George.
Yeah, he had a previous match, but it was the year before.
Yep, so it doesn't count.
I believe.
Let's ignore that.
So, yeah. No, Hari Singh is quality. He's really, really good.
Yeah, that match was very good.
For whatever reason, he didn't get over with the crowd in Tipton. Like they seemed switched off. No, don't get me wrong, it was fucking hot as balls that night.
Oh god, I forgot when that match was. I will give you an opinion on that match. I really enjoyed it, but I feel like it was near the end, wasn't it? It was like that match, and then there was a main, so that might have been the issue. If that match was second on first on there, like everyone would have, like Hari Singh would have absolutely blown them away. But I feel like people were roasting, and they were just wanted the main event at that point.
Mate, everyone was dead. Like you couldn't. The main event obviously made everyone fucking soon jump up, but it was Hari Singh is quality.
Yeah.
To watch him have more matches would be great. But for that one match alone, I've got to say he's decent hand.
Decent, yeah. No, I would happily put him in decent. I'd say he's the same level of Edgar. Obviously, Edgar's had a few more matches, probably put him in front. But yeah, Hari Singh, from what I saw, he was great.
Yep.
Next up, I believe that is Yeston Reeves, because he's a very, very muscly, boiled-up man there. So I'm going to go with Yeston Reeves.
Yeston Reeves, yep. Get his name right, or he'll break every bone in your body.
I said Reeves, didn't I?
Yep. It's Reese.
Could be worse. You could fuck up his music. Anyway.
And he comes out the back and threatens to kill somebody.
But yeah, Yeston had the match with Dan Maloney. I wasn't massively into that match. Obviously, I was into the Tipton Vibe with Dan Maloney, and I think that kind of boosted it. But I'm not very. I would put him in like it wasn't a bad match. Let's throw it out there. I don't think it was. Like decent hand would be as far as I would go.
Yeah, so I think Yeston's amazing. His quality, the look of the guy, is insane. And obviously, he's quite threatening as well. Luckily, the people at the back who get threatened to be murdered when his music goes wrong, they have Carson Bailey with them, so they can just blame him. He enjoys getting beaten up, so it's fine. But Yeston's insanely good. Like, I did initially jump straight into Hall of Fame for Yeston, I'll be honest. Because I was like, he's great, he's amazing, I love him. But again, I went back, like I said, I went back through this morning, like with a sensible head. And I think you're right. I think mainstay, decent hand, he falls between there for me. So I'm really on the fence with Yeston, I'll be honest.
You're the casting vote. I've gone decent hand.
I know.
So casting.
I know. He's him, and there's another person that I've got floating. I'm going to go with you. I'm going to go with you on this one. I'm going to go decent hand.
You've done Lee Hunter in before we even spoke about it. Decent. It's honestly, it's just because it's hard as well. It's based upon one match. It's very hard. Like if he wrestled 3 or 4 times, basically, he'd probably be in Hall of Fame because he is a great wrestler. But it's hard to judge one person on one match, and who to say we're qualified. I trained for 5 years and we're in 2 battle royals, and you've edited a load of videos.
I've been a bastard watching this for 37 years.
There you go, yeah. Bastard was watching flipping Gotch. Hackenschmidt. There we go, that's my knowledge of ages ago. Anyway, I believe that is good old James Mason. I can see the Union Jack. He's alright.
He's okay, isn't he?
Yeah, he knows how to pull a crowd in.
Yeah, he does. He is my other tweener.
Between these, I'd assume.
Absolutely.
I will go before you give your information because obviously you're in between. I would put him in mainstay. Because I said there's been matches he had with Bullet, which I said I wasn't like the most massive of. Ring the World of Sport match it was great, but it made me sad at the same time because it was like we discussed it on the podcast and this show. It was like, oh, I've got 20 minutes till my bus. Oh, the main event, I'll be fine. We're having a World of Sport match. 8-minute. No, but yeah, no, you did. It was a good match. I feel like I'm judging everyone up to CJ Rollins. I feel like I'm a massive fan. CJ Rollins was good. But that's where I'd put you. I ain't sticking him there for the time being, but that's where I'd lean more towards mainstay, but I wouldn't be against Hall of Fame ever.
Yeah, I mean, it's James Mason. He's a legend. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. James Mason is a legend.
Is he?
Is he? Shall we? You can't beat a good shall we? You can't.
Shall I?
Like, I love it. I love everything about it. Oh.
Base it upon his entrance music.
Oh, mate, you got to love his entrance music. You can't not love the entrance music.
You can do it if you want. You can do it.
I'm doing it. I'm putting him in the Hall of Fame.
There you go. All upon his entrance music. This is the smiling of Jack Bull with no rest of his face. Because that image, for some reason, everyone except for Riley Nova, which is just his crotch, we'll get to that in a second.
Oh, God.
So, the master of... what's he going with? The king of the beer mats? The master of the beer mats? Beer mat king?
Who knows at this point?
Man's adapted.
Yeah, he has. He really has. He appeared Christmas before last, at Son of a Nutcracker.
Yep.
And
I remember that. I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah.
Where it all began.
Somebody else was there, wasn't there? There wasn't. No.
Do you know what's worse? When I went to Wrestling Hinckley and saw the person I actually called him, it was like, it's his dad. It's like, he's so big. Like, how could you confuse them? Oh, no.
Yeah, Donnie.
It wasn't my fault.
Even looks similar.
Yeah,
there's not even
that's
a
the
slight
crowd
likeness.
BCCW, though. Absolute.
We just fuck with everybody.
Including the guy that started reviewing the channel. So, Bull, obviously, we ignore the December because that doesn't count anyway. Had fantastic matches against Luke Douglas. Had a fantastic triple threat match with Luke Douglas and Lucas Cashmere. Had another fantastic match with Luke Douglas at Halloween. Nearly said Havoc.
Mayhem.
And then that Fatal 4-Way, which was sillily good. And the man got a package pile drivered on an apron to get eliminated. He didn't just get eliminated, he got package pile drivered on an apron.
And he eliminated Jim Hunter.
Yeah, that did. Obviously, there was a Sid Vicious involved in that. I couldn't possibly put him below mainstay. he's had fantastic matches.
Yes.
I don't know if you've got anything to kind of go, actually, decent hand. But
No, yeah,
mainstay
he's,
is what?
he's mainstay for me. I absolutely love Jack. Absolutely love him.
Yeah, he's fantastic.
From the second that Jack turned up, dressed pretending to be some other wrestler, according to other people, he's. I just fell in love with the guy. He's quality, and I love the aggression. And he's getting that angrier, more violent side. And then something happened in Sedgley with some beer mats, and now we've got a whole new thing going, and it's just amazing.
He doesn't care either. I thought, we'd be carrying beer mats, and he was carrying them around. He flings them like actual shurikens. Yeah, he's taking people out.
Well, signs of a good heel is you don't give a fuck.
Yeah, and he don't give a fuck.
And he don't, and that's what it's got to be at the end of the day. You want to go forward. You be the man.
To beat the man, you've got to drink on the main band's. I've ruined that. Anyway, Joe Blazer was up next. Probably the most recent debut, minus Chris Ridgway. I think. Did Chris Ridgway wrestle prior to BCCW? Was that his debut show?
That was his debut.
There we go. So I was right. Let's move on. Joe Blazer we discussed this on the review show. Yep. When he was first there, I was going, he might be right. And then he had an incredible match. The crowd loved him. They actually went against Chantal, half of them, which is insane.
Stupid.
Until the end. I would happily just, because it's one match performance, you can't put him in mainstay. I feel like that's kind of,
no.
But decent hand is definitely not a stretch at all.
Yep, decent hand for me. That's it. He goes straight in there. I wasn't amused by people cheering for him over Chantel, but fair play to the guy.
Yeah, it wasn't even like it wasn't even. He didn't even try that, even though they just suddenly got invested. It
just became natural, and that's what you want. It's like CJ gets the Hall of Fame. He naturally just got the crowd, and they loved him, and that's kind of what Blazer did. He just got everybody
until the end.
Until the end, and then it was like me.
Loved him. Oh yeah, I'm hoping I see him a few more times. He's very, very good. This is, I believe, Jim Hunter.
Yeah.
Jim Hunter. It's once again. This is just upon his fatal 4-way matchup. Also, let's not talk about this for a second. Jim Hunter is he's returning again. Jim Hunter's back. I thought, they're just pulling him out for Christmas and then he won't appear again. And then he's on the next show and I'm like...
And who's he against on the next show?
Lee Hunter. I can't remember that.
You can't remember?
I can't remember. Who's he against?
He's against Joseph Connors.
I know he's against Joseph Connors because he ruined my life. Why?
Because why not?
Because
what's a match?
There's not good outcome from this match.
His first singles match. Well, it's over 3 years, isn't it? He's like his first match in over 3 years was the last show. This is going to be his first singles match. Christ knows how long.
Yeah, but there's only two possibilities. There's either Joseph Connors loses, and that makes me very sad. Yeah. Or Joseph Connors wins, and then Jim Hunter never wrestles again.
Which also makes you very sad.
Which makes me very sad. And he's already threatened that he's going to retire him. What have you done?
Mate, this right here is a good time to let you know and everyone else know that BCCW have informed me that their streaming service goes live this weekend.
That means I need to get this video out by this weekend. You dickhead!
Oh, fuck. I can't believe you've done this.
Or, just for rate, that's why BCCW have announced that their live service went out previous weekend.
You great man. Because it might be out next week.
Yeah.
It's either going to be out this Saturday, which probably worked perfectly, but it probably ain't going to work out this Saturday. I'm sorry.
Yeah. But, the only way you're going to see Jim Hunter now is BCCW. And he's there, and it's going to be Joseph Connors and Jim Hunter. What a singles match that's going to be.
And you can relive his final ever match over and over again whenever it's download. Oh, what have you done? So, anyway, let's talk about this year, though.
2023, Jim Hunter. I mean, I want to chuck Jim Hunter straight in the Hall of Fame because he's Jim Hunter, and I absolutely fucking love the man.
Yeah, my opinion just at Jim Hunter, but we can't do that. I feel like
No.
I feel like it's disrespectful.
I feel bad because I'm like, he should be there, but I'm putting him in mainstay.
Yeah, he's had one match technically. Well, if we count the Rumble appearance, because he was there again, he blew the roof off at the Rumble, and then he had a fantastic moment where he eliminated Lee Hunter.
Yeah.
After doing, you brought the Hunter moves came out as well. Oh God, when I saw that big swing into the drop kick, it was a good time.
Just makes you tickle.
Oh, tickles are right. Who the bloody hell is this? This is in alphabetical order. Who is that gonna be? That's Joel Redman. That's Joseph Connors, isn't it? That is
Dickhead.
Joseph Connors after
Fuck
This
my
is the
life.
trouble of the flipping. You have to, because we can't see the image and not named. You have to literally be like this sometimes.
Yeah, the image is absolutely
Yeah.
minute on my screens.
Yeah, and the trouble is, we had fantastic imageries shot by Mrs. Bastard, but tier list, it would be like this, moving him up, and that would be a terrible video. It was Joseph. Joe Redman.
Fuck you. Yeah, alphabetical order. Joel is before Joseph.
Yeah, who gives a shit? Joe next. Joel. Let's do Kian next then. Fuck it. Anyway, Joe Redman. Let's do him next.
Joel Redman's amazing. Just absolutely amazing. He got into the match with Connors when we were already 20 minutes over, I think, at this point. And he just looked at me and he went, he looked at the timekeeper and went, what time have they got? Like 15 minutes if you want it. Obviously, if you don't want to do the full 15, you ain't got to. And he's like, okay. And he went out there and he did 14:50, I think it was.
He went out there and did 40 minutes.
But what a professional. He went out there and he went, no, that's the time that I'm allotted. That's the time they wanted me for. That's what I'm going to do. And he went out and he put on a fucking clinic. Joel Redman is absolutely insanely good. I absolutely love him. But he only had one match.
Yeah, I think it's once again the definition. If he was there all year, probably would be in Hall of Fame. But I feel like it's very much, it's hard to put someone in Hall of Fame when you've wrestled one match, which obviously is not their fault. He wasn't there. He wasn't supposed to be there originally, if I remember.
No.
Who did he replace? Was Dan, wasn't it? Yeah, it was Dan. That was the whole New Japan thing. Yeah. Mainstay.
So mainstay for Redman for me. Yeah, absolutely.
The mud show's looking very bare right now. I'm just throwing it out there. Looking very bare.
BCCW doing something well.
Yeah. So I'm just going to move this guy up here, and then we're going to move on to the rest of the list. Joseph Connors. Hall of Fame for me, just because he's Joseph Connors, and every match he's had this year, it's not even a bias. Every match he's the crowd behind him of him being an absolute dickhead. Just the last show alone when he was the cheerleader. This is not even his wrestling. He was the cheerleader for rolling over, and I fucking love it. But in ring, he's been fantastic, and he's had banging matches.
You're never going to get an argument from me on that. Move on. Joseph Connors, Hall of Fame.
Excellent. Kian the Sly Fox.
I love Kian.
Before we go into his actual match ability and stuff like that, Kian is so big. Every time I see him, I gotta forget that he's so big.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just I don't know why he's. I feel he's only gonna be about 6 foot 2 or 5, and then you look at him, he's about 6'7". That's what like.
It's crazy. Kian's one of them people that knows how to make himself look bigger.
Yeah.
Like, I'll be at the back, and he'll be there, and I'm like, oh yeah, he's a big guy, but whatever. But then once he's on, and he becomes the Fox. He becomes fucking big.
The kind of.
Yeah, he blows that shit up. He'll fucking 10 men in and everything.
How many matches has he had this year? He was in the Fatal 4-Way, I remember, with or was it a Scramble with Luna Blue? I remember them being in it.
He was in the Scramble match.
Yeah.
What was the other match?
Yeah, I feel like he's been in 2 matches.
Yeah. I can't get it up.
Check on anything on my phone, because if I move anything, we lose everything.
Yeah, he's definitely had more than the one match. He wasn't there at the last couple of shows, the end of the year. He had commitments, but I'm pretty sure he was there before that. Now I feel bad.
Well, you're the guy that edits the videos. I just reviewed them and should know this as well. Kean Fox, he's a wrestler. Follow
He
him on
is.
Cage Match. That's where I'm going right now. From what I remember of the scramble, I really enjoyed Kean. I'm just trying to jog my memory for the other match, which you could.
He had the 4-way with Mason, Lee, and Charlie. CJ Rollins, sorry.
He did. That was the other match, wasn't it? Yeah, that was it. Yeah, so we had the number one contendership with Lucia Lee, won it. That was it. Yeah, it just clicked in my mind. Big Daddy cool Lucia Lee. But yeah, no, from both of them, like, I really enjoyed both matches.
Yeah. But like I said, I absolutely love Foxy. Foxy gets it. He gets that
Foxy.
slimy fucking fox gimmick. He knows how to piss people off, and he knows how to bring it in the ring. And he's just great. He's a great human being.
A few different ways. Like, he can wrestle like the Carney kind of like the version of Shallow and then flipping cheating and stuff like that. And he can actually just be a powerhouse as well. Wrestle and all.
Yeah. He can switch. He can switch it up completely with whoever he's in the ring with, and I think that's great about him. On a little side personal note, Kane's had some bad news recently, so I just want to send all the love out to Kane. But yeah, I absolutely love the man, and he's a definite mainstay for me.
There he is. We've got next up Kid Lycos.
He's okay.
Oh God. Anyway, for that song alone, Kid Lycos has great matches, and he hit a brainbuster in Tipton.
Not just one.
Not just one. Well, that at least gets him above Mud Show. No.
It helps. Definitely helps.
Well, I don't think he gets in Hall of Fame. Just as I said, he's not pushed as much, but I would put him in mainstay.
100% mainstay. 100%.
We're nearly filling the mainstay where you'll see the fantastic thing where it's suddenly. I haven't been paying attention to my other screen. I'm hoping. Wait, you're paying attention to the OBS screen, aren't you?
I'm always paying attention
That's good,
to everything.
I've just realised I've been doing this, and then it was like if it disappears off the OBS screen, it's like, wow, what a waste of time that whole recording was. We've got Lee with the key, who's not got the key.
Because he's got
Lee with the tighty.
There it is, the tighty.
That was bad.
Good old Lee with the tighty.
It's because we've got less images. We're wondering why this was appearing. It's because there's less images.
Yep, there you go.
Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, top it off. Even though he absolutely ruined CJ, oh God, him as Santa was incredible because he was a menace to society. Man, he was throwing DVDs like they were boomerangs at children. Because it was Santa, children were like, oh, he's not doing anything.
Mate, learn to catch.
Yeah, with your face. But yeah, no, he's had a great year. Obviously, it's topped off by he's now the new champion. It's hard to argue below Hall of Fame.
If anyone disagrees with that position for Lee, there's something wrong with you. Lee's amazing.
Yeah. I have
simple
no
as
arguments. It's still Bizarro World, but I have no arguments. This is Mr. Shane Hucker, I believe. No, that's LG Cleary. I remember that I've got these in alphabetical order. I am LJ Cleary with a Noah t-shirt because I had to get this off Google. LJ Cleary had 2 matches, if I remember.
2 matches.
One where he teamed with Joseph Connors, and then Joseph Connors decided no. And then one where he fought Joseph Connors, and Joseph Connors decided no. They were both very good matches. I don't know if I could put him in mainstay. I feel like Decent Hand is there, but like top of Decent Hand.
Yeah, he's definitely a high Decent Hand for me. I think he's quality, and I'd love to see him back at BCCW. Yeah. Absolutely love to. He's brilliant.
He's in Noah at the moment, so someone must think he's quality.
Yeah,
and I'm one of these people. Really love LJ Cleary. This is, I believe, a gentleman. I had to go find him that appeared on your the the behind closed doors cage match show.
Which, how the fuck did Cage Match know?
Yeah. Well, I think I brought this up with you. Kamikaze had a dojo show where it was behind closed doors, just testing things out. That's on Cage Match. So, that
Yeah.
little bloke. Is it Liam Perrin? It'll be Liam Perrin, maybe.
Be Liam Perrin.
Yeah.
Ah,
It's all based
Liam.
upon you. I haven't seen him wrestle this year because it was at your event.
It was at an event that happened. I love Liam, so I'll stick him straight in Mud Show. Now, he was part of a fatal 4-way match. Was it the fatal 4-way or the triple threat? It was part of the multi-man match. One of the multi-man matches. He was the only person in the ring actually that didn't get hit by my son. So for that alone, he gets just not your night. But yeah, he's good. We saw him in the Rumble. He had a little shine in the Rumble. Obviously, he ain't had much time in the ring, BCCW. He hasn't really been wrestling that much. He's been concentrating a lot on his whatever it is he does. He kicks people in the face, and he's good at it. To be fair, keeps winning medals. So
there we go. We'll move on to a guy that had a good year, Lucas Cashmere. That rhymed.
He's
that
not bad either.
Rhymed. He had the King of Division Championship for most of the year. Unfortunately lost it, but then he had a great match at the end of the year, which he was nearly cheated out of, but somehow still won because he's friends with John Moxley.
Damn that Moxley.
Lucas Cashmere is between either I would nearly get him in Hall of Fame or mainstay. Like, I don't think he's below anything below mainstay.
Yeah, he's mainstay for me. Absolutely mainstay. I think
not in order. We'll get to this at some point.
Yeah, I think as good as he, there's tweaks with Casimir, which he's finding.
Yeah,
I think, and over the last year, you've seen it with him, and he's getting better. And once he finds that final piece of his jigsaw, he'll be a Hall of Fame material.
I don't doubt it at all. Very, very, very good wrestler. I'm just making sure because there's two people of so MJ Grayson is there, so that's going to be Lucia Lee then. Lucia Lee, because I just noticed he's just got his head in the background. Lucia Lee, Scramble then had a title match, if I remember. That was a 2 matches. Or did she get a title match in the end?
Yeah, she had the match against.
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You continue.
Yeah. Oh, we'll continue then.
Do it.
Yeah, she can go in Mud Show because she hit a man in the balls twice. Like, that's terrible. That's absolutely terrible.
I think I can
terrible
make another
behaviour.
tear if you give me a second.
No, I've seen Lucy have some really great matches. I've seen her have some really good matches. Those 2 matches to base it on, I don't think they was best performances. Yeah, really at all. But she's still good.
Yeah, Lucia Lee, even on her worst nights, is very good, which is insane at the same time. Like, obviously, I've got to see Lucy a lot over the years, and she has banging matches, but I don't think, as you said, the matches in BCCW were the best time for her.
Yeah.
I would put Decent Hand under this. It's because it's this year, isn't it? That's what we're going with, like.
Yeah, it's Lucy was. I think she's a lower end of Decent Hand for me at the minute. To be fair, she's definitely better than that. She's definitely better than that. But yeah, I'm going to stick her on the Decent Hand.
Yeah,
it
wasn't her best performance. You said it's. But it said a lot of these is like you have to judge upon just. You have like 6 or 7 shows a year. It's not like you probably see her about. I'd probably see her about 20 times in a year, so it's kind of there's a big difference. Anyway, I'm just going to put him up there before we move on. So Luke Douglas had a good year, didn't he?
He was all right.
Banging matches, won a title. I'm obviously there's some kind of bias on this channel, supposedly.
That's what I'm talking about. That's why he's the MVP. That's why he's the GOAT. The GOAT.
From what I hear,
from opinion-wise, I couldn't put the Luke below mainstay just because he's had a great run this year. He's had fantastic matches with Jack Ball, won a title, defended the title, You know, there's not like much more he could do. You know?
He's had a great year. He's had a great year. I mean, don't get me wrong, he's had some fucking downers, but match wise, he's great. He's absolutely fantastic, and he's definite mainstay for me. Definite.
Excellent. I don't know where I put him. There he is. Let's put him over there for a second. Man like Derisif. The MLD.
The MLD. He goes in decent hand for me.
What I don't remember. It sounds bad. I don't remember what was the match he had.
I can't remember. I have to look it back up again this morning. And I've still forgotten now.
Yeah,
so
so Man like Reese was at the show, and I don't remember him what the match he had was, which is insanity.
Yeah, I'm gonna straight from the get go. I've been at BCCW. I've only ever missed one show, BCCW, and it was a Sedgley show. But I have seen Man like Doris from the initial get go of BCCW all the way through to his last match, and he just seemed to not care as much by the end. I don't
know. Yeah, to fair. Like I said, I'm struggling to find this match, mate. So, was he actually at the show?
He was in the tag table match, wasn't he?
Was he?
Or was that a year before?
Did he exist? Man like the race. I should have just searched him up and then searched BCCW rather than look at every fucking event like a mug. Man like. So yeah, like the Reese can have that opinion. I feel like sometimes he's very. Some shows he'll come on and you feel like he really wants to kind of get out of the best match possible. And some shows, because he's so good, he can just run on fourth gear, first gear, and still have a decent match.
Yeah.
And I feel like that does happen with the Reese a few times. There, he's definitely on there. He was in 0121 versus Charlie Sterling Lee Hunter. He was in that match.
Oh yeah.
Oh, fuck. I would put him in decent hand easily. I don't think he was not his night because I remember that match being very good. It's just I don't remember him being in that match, which sounds mental at the same time.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can't judge a man from one match. Well, we are. Overall year for
Very
Reese,
much
he's
so.
had a banging year. Man's in GCW on a regular,
Yeah.
But on here, decent hand. Matlock.
I'm a massive fan of Matlock. I love him, and I think
I remember this.
He's going to be amazing. But for right now, for the one match that he was in, he's got to go in Not Your Night.
I would agree. Rumble didn't count, as we said, and he lost the match by no disqualification because he hit many Adams. But no, yeah, from what he's very good from what the matches I've seen outside of BCCW. Obviously, I've seen that match, and obviously he's going to be around a lot because of he is now the Diesel. I'm going to be throwing out here now, which this is not my fault. This is Clarkwood. Which one's which? Who knows? Because the pictures are tiny. I think that's the one with the more of a beard. So
Mark.
Yeah, so that one. Yeah, I think that's it because I can barely see his face. Clark would probably go in the same area either way.
Yeah, Clarkwood are together, and I'm sorry, but they go straight Hall of Fame.
Yes, they do. I've never seen it I've not seen a bad Clarkwood tag match at BCCW.
Apart from against Bad Intentions, where you said he wasn't great.
No, it was good on there. Like from what they're, what I'm saying. Like they pulled that match very highly. I really enjoyed that match, and I think it's just Clarkwood are good.
They're amazing. Then yeah, fuck anyone that disagrees.
Yep.
Simple.
So we're not going to talk about them anymore. Mackenzie.
They're too good to even consider worrying about.
Good old Millie Mackenzie.
She's okay.
There we go.
Millie's quality. She's absolutely amazing. But again, she'd only had one match.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest, it wasn't her best night. So for me, she goes in decent hand. She's better than that.
The way you worded that, I thought she was going in Not Your Night. It wasn't a decent night. Some would say it's not her night.
No, she's so much better than that. 100% she is.
Yeah, no, definitely. Well,
and it wasn't that it was a bad match by any means, because it wasn't. It was a good match. I just know Millie can have better matches, and it's based
that's the
off one
trouble with
performance.
being really good. That there will always be. You can have a better match. It's always yeah. MJ Grayson had 2 matches. He might have had 3. I don't know, because you're spectacular. I don't know if he wrestled more than one match on that night.
He had the tag match at the Spectacular event.
Yeah, and then he had a tag match at another spectacular event. I can't remember what it's called, but he had that tag match. Carson Bailey. MJ, it's gonna like we said. I love MJ Grayson as a wrestler, and as a person, I'm gonna be honest. To go wrestling wise, he's also he's kindly enough allowing his band to for us to use their music for our new intro at some point. Which I'm going to tell the story now because I'm going to tell MJ as well. I hadn't listened to much of MJ Grayson's music, and we were picking I was going. We need a wrestler's music. It feels like an indie show. We probably need a wrestler that's in a band because it fits the theme. And I went. We probably should go with either it'll be MJ Grayson because I know he's in a band, or Tomby's in a band. And I was telling DP, our co-host, I went, Tomby's proper death metal though. And he was going, I'll leave if you put death metal on. And he was going, I won't have that as an intro. You can have that as an intro. And I went, yeah, MJ Grayson, it's not that. MJ Grayson's rock, but it's not that thing in my head. Then I put the song on, and I was like, oh god. And then I went, I love this, and I sent it to you, and then I went DP, and I sent him, and he went, oh, at least it's not death metal then. And I went, and he played, and he was, what have you done? But yeah, no, his band's fantastic.
Yeah. Well, when you mentioned it to me, and I was like, MJ Grayson all day.
You mentioned straight away, and then I mentioned, you know what was worse? I messaged MJ and I went, you're good at wrestling. You're good at music. As about some music, and he went, and he thought I was asking his recommendations. He went, can I recommend my band? And I went, that's what I meant. He was so nice enough to not think I was mentioning his band.
Bless him.
Yeah, but no, MJ, back to actual wrestling. 2 matches, remember, he was obviously Carson Bailey was a highlight of that match alone. I'd probably put in decent hand. Not wrestled that much with BCCW this year. Obviously, I can't judge by the spectacular. I don't know how great that match was.
It was fun.
So he might move.
But I'm with you. I'm putting him in decent hand.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of bias sometimes, I think, for me with Grayson and with Wesker, to be honest, because I love them.
Big Van Wesker.
I love both. Yeah. I love both those guys. So it's like whenever I talk about their matches or how they're doing on a performance or how they've been on a night or whatever, I'm like, I'm biased because I really like you.
Yeah, I don't do bias.
No, you don't.
This channel's
you're okay.
Not based upon any bias.
You're a professional.
Yeah, I'm a professional. I watched Reservoir Dogs recently again. I'm the only professional around here.
Supposed to be fucking professional. I'm acting like a professional. Am I the only professional?
He's all right.
Let's move on then.
He only had the one match, didn't he?
Was he good in the match? Was it his best
at the
work?
Spectacular? Now, for the person who we did the Spectacular for, to see RC Chaos come out, it was incredible because RC Chaos has had some time off and he's not wrestling at the moment. He's always going to be higher than that. He's always going to be in decent hand. I am basing this as well a lot on the commissioner side of things because I know he's not been in the match, but the vibes of RC Chaos
side of things.
Yeah, he's going in decent hand for me. I know, again, he only had that one match. It was fun, and it really was fun because there was people there that had no clue what was happening. It was wrestling. They're like, why is this even happening? Why is this a thing? Why are we here?
Because it's you.
But they had to be, and it was great. But Mr. Chaos there, he got everyone smiling. He got the crowd going, and he can do that campy shit as well, and it's great. And he gets up on stage, and he polishes off a point.
We're going to bring that up. Halloween flipping. He drank a whole point in the first promo, the first segment of the show where Steve Keane came out, and I was like, oh, he's got some of his point. Blinked and it was gone.
Yeah. And that's what he did, standing on the apron during the tag match as well. But that's spectacular. But that spectacular as well was the resurgence of the Betrayed, which is Carson Bailey and RCT Chaos as a team. So it was doubly fun.
Doubly fun.
Doubly fun.
Regan.
I'm going to go the same
Regan
way with this.
Versus Stephen Keane this year. Was that last year? Was that Son of a Nutcracker?
It was Nutcracker, wasn't it?
Yeah. Okay.
Because initially I was like, oh, the match he had against RC Chaos, which was the no DQ, which is Project Empire, which you'll be able to see on the video on demand service, by the way. That was quality. Absolutely fucking loved it. If we was doing 2022, we'd have a lot more to say about Regan.
It's like, we were doing 2 years ago.
Exactly. This is my point. So we're not doing 2022. We're doing 2023. And, I'm going to say, again, with Regan, he's another one of the people that I'm quite biased. I do love the guy. But I'm sticking him in decent hand.
Fair enough. What was, what was his match from this year? They're all blurring into one now. We've been speaking for ages.
He had Keane. Then he had
Keane was Son of a Nutcracker.
That was Nutcracker.
I feel like
he was at the Spectacular.
Yeah. Was he in the Scramble match?
He was part of the Scramble. Yeah,
that was it. I enjoyed the Scramble match. Yeah. It was just spectacular. Next up,
spectacular.
We've got Rolling Over. He undid my shoelace.
Good.
There we go.
Good. That's what you deserve.
Fuck you. No, but Rolling Over this year, Bread for Better, him and Joseph Connors have stormed BCCW. He's had some fantastic matches. Obviously, his last match of this year, he didn't top it off by winning a title. But he's had great matches this year, not Rolling Over. Like, he's getting up to being a mainstay if he's not already there.
I'd put him in mainstay. I love him. I absolutely love him.
Is it because he's bred for better?
He really is bred for better. People can argue with me if they want. I don't care. That's where he's going. That's where he's staying. And you ain't moving him. Next.
Shiro.
I love him.
I like Shiro as well. I feel like he was. It sounds because it's their first tag team match. Edgar was obviously. They played the Shiro get beat down a lot. Edgar's the one that kind of got the shine and the nice side of it, so I don't think we got to see the best of Shiro in that match.
No.
But I don't want to say he's not, like, that's not. That's what.
No.
He did what he needed to do.
I think he goes straight into decent hand. Shiro's got so much more to give us. BCCW. It's going to be great. It really is. I think he's going to really shine.
Supersonic.
Give
me gin and tonic. And the one you want it. Make it laugh.
You don't deserve alcohol.
You want your autograph. In line with you. Anyway, let's Shane Hooker.
Walk away.
With his BMW. Shane Hooker.
He's going too far now. Decent hand. Shane Hooker's quality.
Yeah, match he's had. I wouldn't say like they would push him into mainstay, but every match he's had has been very good, like decent hand.
Yeah, and he's getting better and better. He was until
as well.
Yeah, like we had a sit down conversation with a guy and like talking about everything, and then I'm like, wow, you are a child. This is crazy to me.
Oh, it reminds me of George. When we start moving this, it reminds me of George. Do you know we do the indie spotlight interviews with people, and then we say our first questions: how did you get into wrestling? George Lydon, video game, and I was like, and it was just like, it's just, and then you'll speak to someone like RC Chaos, and then it'll be like, George Hackenschmidt, and it's like,
or WrestleMania 8 for him.
Yeah, Betty Davis. Steve Keane. I decided to use his fantastic referee image because he put on an award-winning performance as a referee.
Now, can we have a separate tier for referees? Because Steve Keane's definitely Hall of Fame worthy.
Yeah, at least his shenanigans. He knew what he was doing.
It was brilliant.
Like his arm hurt. He had a phone call. We've also, no spoilers, he came onto the showdown. We filmed a showdown with Steve Keen appeared, which will be out in February. He's a nice guy.
I can't wait that long to watch it.
He's very
It's too far
knowledgeable
away.
as well. Sillily
Yes,
knowledgeable.
he is. He is.
Steve Keen, I would put in decent hand because one, he was a ref one match, and then Halloween, he can't chop.
No,
I don't remember them chops.
no, they were
Obviously,
appalling.
he was doing it on purpose, but good God.
Hey, fair boy.
Um,
But yeah, decent hand, definitely.
and we've got Big Van Veska.
I like what you've done here.
We only got 2 people left on your list.
I do believe so.
Oh, fucking, I did it well.
Did we do that Luke Douglas kid? Yeah, we did.
Oh, I forgot we put him down a bit low. Let me put him.
But yeah,
Big
there is
Van
only
Veska.
those 2 left. There is Wesker. He goes in decent hand for me.
Yeah, he goes where
Wesker
MJ
does.
goes, and you can't really. It's the same
Yeah.
with the Clarks. Like they were taking tag teams continuously. It would be a bit harsh to put one not without the other.
Yeah.
I want to see more of Big Van Veska, not in just BCCW. I don't get to see him, and look wise, he's incredible.
Yeah, Wesker and Carson Bailey beat the living shit out of each other, and it's beautiful to watch. It really is beautiful.
Beautiful, beautiful nightmare. Anyway, that's the end of the tier list. Because I don't want to judge the last person because they will get the video taken down. But last but not least, we've got Redacted. Redacted had a great year.
He's amazing. Go on, do it.
Do what?
Put him in there. Put him right up the top. You know you want to.
Hall of Fame.
Nah, he goes straight into mainstay for me.
But yeah, that was the end of the tier list. No, yeah, Ollie Real Redacted. Even though he's 0 and 10, not this year though.
No,
He's undefeated.
not this year.
All his matches were banging.
He's amazing. He never has a bad match.
Like,
never.
Last show, his match was my favourite match of the night. Was it? Oh,
Yeah.
you just clicked. I'm sure it was.
Yeah, you had it as his match of the night, yeah.
Yeah, I was trying to if I had a 3 3/4 match, but no, yeah, Redacted's matches have been fantastic. I joke around, obviously he's losing streak and stuff like that, but match quality wise, it's hard to beat him.
Yeah, he's insanely good. He never puts on a bad performance.
Obviously, he would go in the Hall of Fame as if he was winning these matches. That's the only difference. I feel like that's the difference between him and. It's not me. It's just. It's hard to put someone in the Hall of Fame that's 10 and 0. Or 0 and 10, isn't it?
0 and 10.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I will say he's right up there. He's the top of that mainstay for me with Dan Maloney.
Well, this is the end of the tier list for that side of it. So now we just need to kind of work out general patterns here. So we'll start from the bottom and then move the way up because that's the best thing. Order. Is there any change you'd make in that? So you got Liam, Bullet, Bad Intentions, Bevan, Coach.
Nah, leave it as it is.
Also, Scott Grimm's not on here.
Oh yeah, I've got him written down as well. Scott Grimm goes on there as well.
Yeah, Scott Grimm would go next to Coach if we were going to just throw it out there.
I'd put him ahead of Coach.
Yeah, he was the better for the Bossman Slam was incredible.
I loved it, mate. He sent the fucking audio thing off the chart. Brilliant.
You were worried the whole show that you were going to play the music too loudly, and then that was the thing that nearly shut the show down.
Mate, the only time he hit 3 red lights was the fucking Bossman Slam. It was great.
In honour. So you think Matlock was the best of Not Your Night at the moment?
I think so. He's also got the most potential going forward here.
Wonderful. Decent hand. This obviously there's a lot of people going here. So you've got Shane Hooker, Shiro, Regan, Millie, Man Like the Reese, Lucia, Joe Blazer. I would put more up here straight away. Joe Blazer would go up higher up.
Yeah.
Who else is in here? Luna Blue, Edgar Adams, Yeston, Van West, I would probably put them slightly lower just because of it's just. I'd probably put them next to Carson in that kind of tag match of dreams.
Yeah. I think the way I'm going to look at this now is what we're going to see going forward as well.
Yeah.
And I love RC Chaos. He's my brother, but like we ain't going to see him, are we? Like, you know, he's sat back. He's now part of the desk. I'd put him on decent hand, but I'd put him at the bottom of decent hand for now, unless he's showing something out.
Who's the top of decent hand? We got Allergy Cleary there, which I don't think would be the top of decent hand out of them.
I don't think he can be right now.
Steve Keane, I'd move that just because it was the referee.
Referee Steve Keane to the top of every list.
Regan
That's it.
would probably be down there. Man like the Reese probably would, I said, because we completely...
the fact that we forgot him.
Yeah, and then obviously he didn't seem to be that much into the match.
Edgar and Shiro put together in maybe third.
I probably would put Shiro a couple of down, because I think Edgar, obviously, the other couple of matches kind of push him a bit more further. I'm already there. Carson somehow was his way quite high there, but actually, fuck it. There we go. Aluna's good matches from there were pretty decent.
Yeah,
probably
she's a good.
Would you put Joe Blazer at the top of decent hand from that one match? Because
from based on one match alone, it's you know what that's I'm okay with it.
There we go. That's the order at the moment. Then I'd actually probably put Millie McKenzie quite high as well.
Yeah, Millie has to go up there.
Yeah,
actually,
probably above the tag match. Actually, there we go.
There I'm not putting Carson Bailey above Millie. Yeah, love you, Carson.
Mainstays. This is where it gets a bit more difficult. So we've got Dan at the top at the moment. Charlie Sterling, Luke Douglas. I feel like has to be at least in the top three. That's not biased. He's had a great year. I
honestly think, as far as the mainstay goes, I love Dan Maloney and he's absolutely incredible. But for me, I think it has to be Luke Douglas, TJ Sky, and
I would put Jack Bowler.
Yeah.
George Lydon would probably come next. Then Dan Maloney, judging by who else is in there. Jim, obviously, he's just his 1 year. Riley Nova.
Riley Nova's got to go up.
Kian, Kid Lycos probably go there. Who else is there? Chantel's it. Chantel. I would probably put lower just because it's just one match. Who have we put? That's Lucas Cashmere. He needs to go. Oh, this list is fucking.
Cashmere needs to go in front of Dan, I think.
Yeah, it's fucking a lot here, isn't it? Joel, I'll probably put Joel. It sounds mad, but just because they've only had one match. Kian probably go. Kid Lycos had a good match. Then Jim probably would go below Kid.
Just purely based on one match alone.
Chantal's had great matches. Same as Charlie Sterling. Probably would go round about there. That's not bad.
That's not bad at all.
And then the Hoff.
This is where we clash in.
Yeah. Now, if we're going with it, I would put CJ Rollins as had the best year.
Yeah.
Lee Hunter would probably go my second.
I'd go CJ Lee, Clarks, Connors, Mason.
Ooh. Can I put him in the middle? No, oh God, he's not in the middle anyway. He's decided he's there.
Clarks and Connors, they're on par. The Clarks are amazing. Like I say this every time we do something, which I love the Clarks, and they really are incredibly good.
Yeah. I just can't. CJ had obviously didn't end well, but like year wise, CJ had one of the best years. Lee obviously lost a lot this year, but he's champion now, so you can't really go past that. And he had great performances. Clark's
and he was
best
Santa
team in the Midlands, maybe the UK.
Yep.
Joseph Connors. First, it's been fantastic this year, and then Jason Manford. That's what let's end this. We've been.
Let's end on Jason Manford.
Jason Manford's had a great year. No, James Mason's. That's a good list.
Yeah.
And there's no one in the mud show.
There shouldn't be.
No one was really shit. I'll be honest.
No, I mean, even if you go down to Not Your Night and we look at those boys again, Liam didn't really have much of a shine at all. He didn't really have much of a showcase.
Spectacular.
But everyone else there should be higher. You know, but it's not to say that they were bad. It's just that night wasn't their night.
Yeah, and you can't really put them above the people above them, so that's the way
That's
tier
it.
lists work. And
There you go.
that is the first ever BCCW tier list. We will be back next year because Bastard's here forever.
Can't go anywhere now.
Yep, you know, he's employed without getting paid. Well, he's technically getting paid soon. So, as usual, like and subscribe. This is online, this tier list. You can do it yourself.
Yay!
Like, this actually, people can go find this tier list and do whatever they want.
Do it, people. Do it.
It's going to be a great time. And then the best fun thing about this is when we check next year, we can see how the mighty have fallen and how people have rose.
Yeah.
But as I said at the start of the video, like and comment. We've got new series coming up. We've got interviews. We're going to be continually reviewing and previewing BCCW and all the other indies that we get to. We've got loads of interviews coming up. We've somehow staked our claim in America. And we've got Swartzy coming on and Malcolm Monroe III. Both ICW, no holds barred wrestlers, so
very nice.
The face that loves the punks. And then one I'm going to announce now, MJ Grayson is going to be on our UK Spotlight this month.
Good times. You can tell him how you dropped him down the list.
Goodbye, everyone, and thank you once again, Bastard. Oh, yeah.